Okay, hi. Good evening, guys. Thank you very much for waiting for us. Of course, you know our Secretary General, Dr. Isham Shak. Okay, we just had four important events today. One with the teleconference between myself, our Deputy, Dr. Ong Kiam Ming, and of course, the MITI Minister for Singapore, our counterpart. His Excellency Chan Chun Sing. We had a good conversation with himself. We introduced ourselves, and we also agreed that we shall work together to realize a lot of the arrangements and also agreements between Singapore and the Federation of Malaysia. We also did discuss that we will be visiting reciprocally with each other. He and his officers will come by, and we will reciprocate that same visit sometime soon. We are also looking forward to meeting up with all the member and ministers in August in Singapore, and it was very interesting to get to know our counterpart in Singapore. The second visit thereafter was, event today was with His Excellency Dr. To of Korea, Republic of Korea, where our deputy, myself, and our Secretary General were together in the discussion. We discussed on the bilateral relationship that we have with Republic of Korea and what we are going to do together. They have also given us some assurances that Korea will like to enter into the digital economy as well as the high-end business that they can bring to Malaysia. No questions on that, I guess. Okay. Of course, the second visit was by the Australian High Commissioner. That would be from Mr. Andrew. I think you all know his full name. Andrew Goldzinowski. I'm trying to get used to the name. He admitted that the name was a bit difficult to pronounce as well. It was very good, very friendly. I was very glad that the Secretary General was with me and he explained whatever concerns that they had. But all in all, Australia works very well with Malaysia, and I think we can look forward to working with them in the near future, more so with this new government. And of course, we just finished with the British High Commissioner, Her Excellency Vicky. It was very good, she had a very open discussion with us, and she has told and assured us that there will be more businesses coming out from Britain to Malaysia, what more so with the situation that they have in the UK and Europe with Brexit. So they have a lot of investment portfolios that they might want to bring into Malaysia. She also explained to us the situation where her government had some resignation, and it was clearly explained to us, and I don't see any problem with them in the UK. Okay, that's about it in terms of our discussion today. But all in all, it's good. That tells you that all these nations recognize this government, this Pakatan government, as well as the good work that the Ministry of International Trade and Industry had brought all these years to Malaysia. They've given full support, and the message was all the same. They all want to support us in Malaysia. They want to work with MITI, and they know that they can trust MITI. And this is under the leadership of our Secretary General, Dr. Isham Shak, and his amazing team. Thank you very much.
Minister, two countries that you met today is a member of the CPTPP.
Yes.
Can we know what is the new government's stand on CPTPP?
Okay. As you all know, we are all signatory to the CPTPP. The direction will be made more clearer, in the next weeks probably, because the Prime Minister has already given his thoughts, but we'll finalize it at the Cabinet.
Can we expect it to be tabled in the next Cabinet meeting, perhaps?
I think let the Prime Minister have his opportunity to look at how to rebuild Malaysia, and at the same time also rebuild our relationship with the rest of the world.
What are the Prime Minister's thoughts on this agreement?
On CPTPP, I think you've read his opinions and also his thought when he went to Japan.
Yes.
But he's open to many things. Give him some time.
Is there repercussion from us not entering the CPTPP?
Nobody said we're not entering yet, but he has given his opinion. So he probably wants to look at a few things and grasp it. Like all of us also grasping it because we are new in the government. But we know that the Prime Minister will make a certain decision real soon.
As a signatory, is there anything that we need to pay, any compensation?
No.
Or it's just,
no.
we can just come out of
Or is there a particular time frame that we're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, upon signing, we sign, then there's the ratification process lah. So the ratification requires Malaysia to undertake some changes in laws and regulation that is directly pertaining to the entry into force of the agreement. So the entry into force of the agreement is expected to be early next year, sometime February. So there are certain number of laws and regulation that Malaysia will need to amend to ensure that we are able to effect the agreement. But as you understand it, there's 3 more parliamentary sittings between now and February next year. So first, definitely we have to update the Prime Minister on the current status of the CPTPP. And as some of you have also mentioned, he had some questions arising from the fairness of the agreement on developed countries and less developing countries, big countries and small countries. So we have to share with him some of this first before he's able to make a clear direction on the way forward for CPTPP.
Jika Malaysia mahu mengubah sedikit mungkin terma ataupun syarat ataupun provisions dalam CPTPP itu, adakah masih mungkin sekarang ni ataupun tak boleh lagi? Kalau tak setuju satu terma atau provision, kena tarik diri keluar dari perjanjian.
So bila kita telah bersetuju dengan perjanjian tersebut, dan maka kita telah menandatangani lah. Selepas kita menandatangani, maka itu merupakan satu persetujuan di mana perjanjian tersebut tidak akan dibuka lagi untuk mana-mana pindaan untuk dibuat.
Ada sebarang penalti kepada Malaysia jika berlaku penarikan diri ataupun tidak ratifikasi?
Macam yang berhormat maklum tadi, kita belum ada keputusan untuk menarik diri.
Tapi dalam syarat tu ada penalti yang perlu dibayar oleh Malaysia jika
Kita belum.
Dia tidak ada penalti, cuma ada notifikasi di mana kita perlu memberi notifikasi dalam satu tempoh yang tertentu sebelum kita keluar daripada perjanjian tersebut lah. Memang ada exit clause. Exit clause.
Yeah.
So is the deadline February next year for Malaysia to make that decision known?
Oh no. Next year February is the entry into force. So there is a provision in the agreement that says a certain number of countries, when they meet they've already gotten their ratification process completed, then they can already start engaging in the agreement.
So there's a big possibility that Malaysia may not meet that time, or
Yes.
may not even
Yes,
proceed with it.
yes. Because there is a number of laws and regulation that needs to be amended first before the entry into force.
Tapi jika had minimum negara yang telah ratifikasi CPTPP pada masa itu dah cukup, Malaysia boleh sertai ratifikasi dan ratifikasi kemudian lah.
Yes, boleh. Anytime. Anytime.
YB berkenaan dengan pertemuan dengan Singapura, adakah isu perjanjian air Malaysia-Singapura dan juga pembatalan HSR dibincangkan?
Oh tidak, kami tidak bincang itu sebab perbincangan itu hanya akan terjadi bila kita berjumpa.
Minister, any stand on RCEP pula? A few countries yang you meet up pun ada join the RCEP.
Oh yes.
So any decision on that? Are we continuing with the negotiation?
Well, like I said, again, we leave to the Prime Minister to make a final decision. After all, this is a government led by him, and his vision is to rebuild Malaysia, and all this will come into play along the way.
Also in a few weeks' time ataupun?
I'm certain that he knows his time better. Yeah.
What's the latest on the Malaysia-EU FTA talks? Is there anything that you discussed during your meeting? So if you could shed some light on that.
I think this was our first meeting together, but when it comes to the EU FDA talks, the Secretary General is well aware of it. There's nothing at the moment.
Last question, guys.
I just want to ask also about the trade war and how it could be affecting Malaysia. Is there any talk about how Malaysia could benefit if companies are moving production from China to Southeast Asia? Or are there examples of companies operating in China that say they want to set up shop in Malaysia? And if you could just tell us more about how this trade war is affecting Malaysia.
Many speculations on the outcome, but it's still too early to say as well. So probably in a couple of days or a couple of weeks, we should be able to tell the repercussions and also the benefits of it, if any. But would you like to say something on it?
Well, last Friday was the day when this tariff war started. So it will take some time before we can actually gauge the challenges that we face from this trade war. And on your question about interest about some of those countries wanting to reposition their manufacturing or production in Malaysia, there have been some countries who have shown interest, but they are also analysing the situation, whether it is feasible or not for them to come here, because the trade war may last very long, it may not last very long.
Very volatile.
So still very volatile. So give it some time before we can really analyse the situation.
Which other countries actually interest?
I mean, those countries who have been part of the supply chain, who are exporting to both US and also China.
Minister, can you share your experience just now? In the morning you met up with the talk with, what do you call it, SPRM. So maybe you can share some thought, your vision for zero tolerance in terms of corruption in the agency. Ministry, MITI is quite huge.
Yes. I think the Secretary General has already made it very clear to us that he's brought in the integrity side, the MACC and what have you, into our office. Tolerance, there's no tolerance at all to corruption. It must be zero, and we must also start, just as the Prime Minister said, from young. I think we also, as parents, as young parents like you all also, we have to start teaching our children that there must be no reward such as I do this, you do this for me. That kind of discipline should no longer be there. MACC also told us that we should declare our assets, the assets declaration that are required of members of Parliament and also members of the Cabinet, and these are being made compulsory at the request of the Prime Minister. And I understand that laws will also be probably amended to require the politicians as well as elected representatives to declare their assets. So what I've learned from it is we want to rebuild Malaysia. The way to rebuild it is to ensure that we discipline ourselves to say no to corruption.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Terima kasih. Okay. Thank you.